I used talcum powder for most of my life, used it with all of my kids when they were very little. Now I've been diagnosed with some of the health problems that I read about it causing. Can I still join the talc lawsuit? What do I need to do? And I know the perfect person for this response.
Mary,
Here he goes. Tim, weigh
we've
in,
been litigating
please.
talc cases for a long time. And as a matter of fact, my firm, Porter Malouf, along with the Smith Law Firm, filed one of the first cases in the country. And now it's nationwide litigation. With respect to your timing, if you have not been diagnosed, if you've been diagnosed within 3 years, you live in Mississippi, you're not too late to file a lawsuit, because it will be a products liability suit against the talcum powder manufacturer. The other thing that you mentioned was an injury. The injury that we're taking and the injuries that we're looking at are either a cancer caused by like mesothelioma, which is breathing and inhaling the talcum powder in, or ovarian cancer is what we've been able to link to the use of a talcum powder. So if you have one of those injuries, you can give our office a call, and we'll be happy to look at the case. And I can tell you that there's been a lot of good news for us on the talcum front over the last 6 months. I mean, we've had the federal MDL, which is a multi-district litigation court out of New Jersey, where a lot of these cases are consolidated, actually ruled that our experts were qualified to testify, which means J&J, Johnson & Johnson, will have to face a trial all across the country. We recently had a state court of New Jersey appellate court overturn the lower court's ruling that allowed those cases in New Jersey state court to go forward, and a New Jersey and a Missouri appellate court just upheld a verdict from a lawyer friend of mine for over $2 billion, and they've got that on cert to Missouri Supreme Court. But things are not looking good for Johnson & Johnson, and we hope that they'll do the right thing and settle these claims. One other thing I will add is that they did announce this year, they blame it on the COVID. I don't think it has anything to do with COVID, but they're taking talc out of their baby powder as well, which is one of the things that we fought for. Former Attorney Jim Hood had filed a case on behalf of the state of Mississippi, and that was one of the requested reliefs that we were asking for. And we were glad that J&J finally decided to take talcum powder out of Johnson & Johnson's baby powder.
That's a pretty big deal to think that Tim's firm, Porter Malouf, and the Smith Law Firm has gotten a giant corporation to change the way that they do business. And that came from lawyers from Mississippi that are friends of mine and friends of this show. And so I'm really proud that they've had such an impact on public health. And it's the way you change things in America a lot of times nowadays.
Well, you know, Rocky, and one of the things that helped change things is when we first started filing these lawsuits, we were filing them straight talcum powder that talc causes ovarian cancer. We believe the science backs that up. But what we found along the way, and I've been doing asbestos cases and mesothelioma cases for going on 20 years now plus, and what we found is that Johnson & Johnson's baby powder, the samples that we tested have asbestos in them. So this has now become not just a talc case, but it's become an asbestos talc case, along with other heavy metals and other things that are cancer causing that is in that baby powder.
And you mentioned, I think, one time we had this discussion that it'll be replaced with cornstarch. Is that was the request? Or?
Well, that was what they studied back in the 50s and 60s or 60s with cornstarch replacement. We believe that's probably what they would replace it with. It's absorbent. It may not be as soft as the talc, but it certainly does the job without any known health effects that we are aware of.
You know, we can go on a long time about that topic too, because one of the things that always amazes me when we talk about this is the fact that it went on for so long. We're talking decades, and people, so many complaints over the years. And I'm just always amazed at the fact that they were, I guess maybe because it's such a huge corporation that this would take so long to, come to some sort of resolve.
Well, the internal documents on this, I thought some of the internal documents that we've dealt with over the course of years with asbestos cases and what they knew when they knew it were great documents. And when I say great documents, I mean documents you can use to prove their liability when they knew it and what they did about it. But these talcum powder documents are just as full of information about what they knew, when they knew it, and what they did about it. And up until recently, by taking talcum powder out, we believe it's going to be safer for women and others who even may breathe the powder. But it's also a big deal because, these documents are really damning, and they don't want those to come out in public. There's many that have been published, but there's a lot of things that the public has not seen that they would be astonished at.